Hello and welcome. My name is Lucian Govender from Nine Pillars, and today's webinar is going to focus on how to automate your marketing. If you haven't already implemented this tactic, we highly recommend you certainly find out a bit more information about it and use it in your business. We've implemented this tactic for ourselves as well as for our clients, and over the years, we've been able to test a lot of different strategies. We've made some mistakes. We've learned from it. We've adjusted our campaigns to help make automation of our marketing really work for us. So today we're going to share some of those ideas and some of those mistakes that we've made, and we're going to share with you how, what, and why you should be automating your marketing. So let's get into it. So firstly, thanks for joining us. It is a short webinar. It's a quick training one, which we hope that kind of grab these tactics and start implementing in your business. So before I get going, I have I guess 3 gets that I want you to do right now. One is to get a pen, get some paper, and if you can, turn off your emails or phones just for the next at least 15-20 minutes of this presentation. I know when when I'm in front of a webinar or listening to things, I can get easily distracted. So I recommend, especially on emails, if you can turn them off, that would be great. So let's get into it. There's a lot to cover. I will be going through this really quickly, but you will be able to really grasp a lot of the concepts in how to get your marketing. And at the end of today, we're going to share with you how to get my help with us. Sure, we're going to share with you these secrets, but sure, you may have some questions, and we'll be happy to answer them for you. So, automating your marketing, as I mentioned, we've been doing this for a little while now. What we've found is really it's about generating leads, right? So, how do we generate leads and still free up our time trying to do everything else in the business? And that's what automating is all about. It's about freeing up time so you can get on doing other important things, not just focusing on your leads. And the other part of having an automated system is it does reduce the stress. It's consistent, and that's the key part of automating it. One of the things we found is you can go from a very manual process. So if you're in a service organizations, you're having meetings, you're cold calling, you're following up people. When if you can move to a more of a leveraged system like automation, you really get everything, all the different processes working together. And it is very much about shifting gears and making it run at a consistent speed so you can get momentum in your business. The other hard part of but not using automated marketing, the normal process is probably slow and hard. It takes a whole lot of time to do it. Things pile up, especially when you get really busy. You focus less on trying to generate leads, and then you end up with this vicious wave or cycle that just goes up and down. When you're busy, you're less focused on leads. When not so busy working on client activity, you're focused on lead generation, but you're in a very stressful situation. And let's face it, it can get really, really frustrating. And last thing we want is people to go into this roller coaster ride. It's all about having consistency with leads, which reduces your stress, but also creates great cash flow for your business. Where you want to be is about lead flow and creating a pipeline. Really building up a pipeline that you can actually work with, knowing that there's people out there who's really interested in your services that you can sort of go to and try and speak to or really nurture that particular prospect. It is all about moving to an autopilot system. It's almost while you're sleeping, it could be working for you. If you're on holidays, the system will work for you. When you're at meetings, it'll work for you, and it's all about this, or sitting it on autopilot. The other great thing about having a system like with marketing automation is it does improve your conversion rate. It can help you nurture your leads and really take it to the next level, and it positions you, as an expert. I've got Anthony Robbins here. If you ever subscribe to any of his newsletters, you'll see how he really positions himself as the expert and gets you to events and so on. And the great thing about having automation is about building quality prospects. With quality prospects comes, let's face it, some really positive cash flow, and that's what you want. You can nurture them, get them to a point where they're really needing your services. They already know that they've come to the right place because you've built it up as an expert, and so it's all about then converting that particular hot lead into a customer. So now I'm going to share with you the 5 key areas on how to automate your marketing. And I'm going to basically, some people make it quite complicated. So I'm just going to focus on 5 key areas, bring it right back to what you need to focus on to really get this working for you. Like I said, it's the same system we use in our business, and it's a system we not only teach but implement for our clients. So the first thing you need is what we call a lead magnet. Now, what is a lead magnet? A lead magnet is something that goes out there, attracts the person, your prospect, gets them interested, and then they take a next step with you. It could be a number of different things that attracts them in terms of taking the next step with you, and I'm about to share some of them with you right now. It's a part of a lead magnet. It's about being high value content, putting something that is so, it almost solves or puts them at ease that they've come to the right place when they get to your website. It could be something like a coupon offer to say, hey, and this works really well if you're in a trade business. It says, use a $50 voucher here for your next trade services. It gives them something small that they could, take the next step with you. You could even look at something like a checklist, which we use in our business as well to help generate leads. It's a checklist. It could be some free content that you want. It could be videos if you have something out there showing people maybe a process or steps they need to take or things they need to be aware of. It's really important that you get the lead magnet right, which attracts your prospects, burning fears and frustrations, and then showing them basically how they can go about resolving some of those fears and frustrations. And it could just be a checklist, like I said, or a video. The second component of it is creating a sales funnel. If you look at this diagram, you've got a whole lot of trucks coming in, and it all goes into a couple of lines at the end there. And the whole part of a sales funnel is really about moving your cold prospect down, or I should say up the funnel or up the ladder in terms of taking them, I guess, taking to the next stage, which the final stage is then becoming a customer. And if you do this right, you can really build it through things like email sequences, and I'm about to share with you how to go about doing that. But you can send emails out to them that basically sends out information automatically. Again, you don't need to go in front of your computer and send every prospect that comes in an email. This will actually help build a system so it does all the hard lifting for you. And that's what's really, really important in running an automated marketing system. So the email sequence, and this is just an example, we have different email sequences for different clients and different businesses. But here's a really quick example that I'll run you through right now. Let's start at the top where it says advert. Now, this could be something like an ad on, let's say, Facebook or something like that, or Google AdWords or LinkedIn that people will see, they'll look at it, they'll click on it. And that's what you want. You want to tempt them to take the next stage with you. So if you can talk about the fears and frustrations, then the next part is show them how that fear and frustration could be resolved. The next stage is a landing page. A landing page is a page on your website that'll basically shares a bit more information on who you are. Could share some testimonials. It could share basically how they can go about resolving that problem really quickly and simply. The next stage that you want someone to do on your landing page is to opt in. Right now, part of this opt-in could be access to a free video, the checklist, um, some sort of lead magnet there, so they can put in their details, and after they put in their name and at least their email address is what you want, just those two simple things, they get to go to a thank you page. Sure, there's other options after thank you pages, but in terms of cross-selling, etc. But let's keep it simple for this exercise. Once they opt in, they'll get an email. The first email could be on day 1. The next email could be the very next day on email 2, and then maybe you give them a few days to digest some of that information. You don't want to over push the sale or something, but maybe 5 days later, you could send them another email just checking in on how they've gone with the checklist or the video, or if they had any questions or something along those lines. And after a while, if you build this up, I mean, we've built emails, it could be they get 7, 8, 9, 10 over, let's say, 21 days. And then if they're still not taking the next step with us, they'll go into our monthly email campaigns that we send out as part of our Pillars Connect. So there's a number of different approaches, but this is a very simple email sequence that I'm sharing with you for the purpose of this exercise. And what's the whole reason behind the email sequence? It is very much about nurturing it and then qualifying it. I mean, so many times I remember going and meeting a prospect without qualifying them enough. And part of the email sequence with automation, it does that for you. It helps build a relationship. It helps position you as the expert, and then it helps qualify them if they still want your services. The third key area is what I call the entree product. So let's say that if they've gone through the email sequence, and maybe something right at the end you can offer them. It could just be a free 15-minute phone conversation with you, or it could be a free trial product. Some retailers send out, or in the cosmetic industry, send out a free trial kit that someone could try different cosmetic products in order for them to see if they like it and if they want to buy it, later on. But give them some sort of really low risk, high value entree product that they could still, just build that relationship with you and take the next steps. It doesn't have to be for free. It could be a paid session. It could be a reduction in that first session. So let's say you charge for your first meeting. It could be something like $27, which is, again, it's more of like a commitment fee really that someone's paying. And it's low risk, high value. And it is all about creating the opportunity to work closer. Like, let's face it, we still want to be in front of the prospect, and you really want to have a conversation, or get them to take a transaction with you. And if you can build that up through this low cost product, that would be awesome. Now the fourth thing is really important here. I call it tools, and this is where most people kind of fall down. They just think, yep, I'll go in, I hear all about automating marketing, but then it gets too hard because I don't know how to use these tools. And the tools I'm about to share with you are very simple to use. You don't need to be a web developer or anything like that to start using these tools. So let me share with you the first thing you want is something like an email system. At Nine Pillars, we use MailChimp to help automate their marketing. It's really simple to use. You can just use the templates that's in there, create an account. It's really low cost, something like $25 a month. If I think it's what we pay at the moment. And you can create automations in there. You can set the days out. You can set the emails, and you can adjust these things as it goes along. And it acts as a CRM for you. You can put your whole database in there just to find out who's opening your emails and who's reading them and who's clicking through to your websites, etc. Other awesome tools that are out there are things like Ontraport and Infusionsoft, SendPepper. There's so many of these items that are out there that you could use. Like I said, MailChimp to me is probably one of the most easiest ones you can use when you're out building an automated system. Website landing pages. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this. Now, yes, you can go to your web developer and get it done. But one of the things we use here again at Nine Pillars is a thing called Leadpages. Fantastic tool. Yes, it does cost you a monthly fee, but you can just do a one-off month just to test it out if you like it. And again, they use templates in there. It's kind of drag and drop, and you can edit them. And it is very user friendly. You can basically build up a landing page, within an hour, and have it all running and linked onto your website. So I highly recommend something like Leadpages. The other tool I would recommend is Google Analytics, and this is, it is so important. I know something I do with a lot of our clients when they want me to look at their, online marketing for SEO or Google AdWords, is always go and have a look at Google Analytics just to see what sort of history people have had with their campaigns. Having a look, where traffic's coming from, what's the bounce rate, what pages aren't performing well, what are some of the keywords people are coming in on, etc. It's really important that you have this set up so you can actually measure how effective your marketing is. Because at the end of the day, you want to get a return on investment, and that return's got to generate, leads, but also look at, if something's costing you, $100 versus $5, you want to be working on how did that, why is there two different price points there in terms of your return on investments for different campaigns. So really, get Google Analytics set up. Every web developer should make this mandatory when they build websites. But just check this before starting any marketing campaigns whatsoever. This could be for SEO or for AdWords, but again, or even Facebook advertising. Make sure Google Analytics is set up correctly. Now, the fifth thing and last that we're going to share is, really about select your source. So let me just recap. You've got a lead magnet that you need. You've built up an email sequence. You've got a landing page. You've got everything ready to go. And now you can go, well, how am I going to get people to see the ad? What do I need to use? So here's some channels that we would recommend. And I would recommend you use something like a pay-per-click tactic. And it could be something like Facebook advertising, Google AdWords, LinkedIn advertising, and just get people seeing your specific ad. Again, we use this for a lot of our clients and for ourselves to push out a lead magnet. Facebook's got some great demographics that you can target. So if you want to target tradies, you can go in there and put in the word tradie within your geography, particular age group, and your ad will appear to that audience. And you can set your budget, which is fantastic. Same with Google AdWords. Is again another way of just getting people seeing your ad, clicking on the ad, going to your landing page. That's probably the most effective way of generating traffic to your website is using pay-per-click. So where to next? So just recap. If you guys have any questions, it would be great. Feel free to touch base with us at 9pillars. Just go to www.9pillars.com.au and just contact us. But just to recap, it's important that, if you can automate your marketing, let it do the hard lifting for you when you're not around. That's how I see it working for you. Create the systems. If you create a great automated marketing system, you can focus on other areas of the business. You don't have to be stressed out about where your next leads are coming from. You can build up cash flow in the business. And, using those 5 key areas will make a massive difference. Right, so if you are having problems with it or wanting more information, feel free to touch base with us. And again, just want to say, look, thank you so much for your time. I hope you got a lot out of this. Feel free to also leave a comment on our Facebook page if you haven't already. And we look forward to hearing from you shortly. Take care.